the 20th of March 2024, mind. Today I'm going to do some Nigel things. It is only 11 days off this car being retaxed and going back on the road, and although it looks okay, there are still a few things to do, and today I thought I would do something rather important. So, starting with this, the Rusty Works fridge freezer. Open up the door and we find the freezer compartment empty except for one Rover 25 filler flap. Now there was a time where this freezer was filled to the top with Rover 25 fuel filler flaps. What happened? Well, they all came out to make way for some Momo. And this has given me a little thought. You see, this filler flap here is dark green. I think, is it green? Yes, it is. And although that is a contrast to the gold, it's the same colour almost as that. It's not quite, but it's close enough. So the honest thing to do would be to wipe off the stains off of this gold filler flap and stick that on, being as that is its original colour. Yeah? No, that's not what I'm going to do. Of course it isn't. Instead, I'm going to use this Wedgwood blue filler flap, which although is the same colour as the rear bumper, it won't be for long. It is just about warm enough to use paint. So, that's the colour I've gone for. Second coat of lacquer. Something else I've missed on Nigel has been these trophy lights. It just looks a bit less Nigel without them. So I'm going to see if my repair job on there was enough of a job. And now, what do you think? Does that look much better or not? I'm struggling with this. The purple filler flap. The purple filler flap. I don't think I like it. It kind of reminds me of an old lady's makeup for some reason. If you think that sounds strange, I understand. I'm not explaining it properly, but just picture an old lady who's way past her prime and she's still trying to put lipstick on and stuff like that, but she's smearing it all over her face. And somebody out there is going to understand what I mean. Nigel, from the inside, as you can see, an awful lot of bits still have to go back together to make this car complete. But from the outside, it's kind of finished. With the exception of still a bit more polishing and waxing to do. I mean, for example, that door and that panel there, I haven't done anything with them yet, or the front bumper, I haven't done anything with that yet. The wheels as well, they could really do with a really good polish up. Oh, and the rear bumper. Even so, oh yeah, and the whale tail thing. There's a gap there where it's just not managed to fit quite as well as it should have done. Oh, there's quite a bit of white stuff to remove from the side of here as well, but that's easy enough to do. Anyway, it is pretty much complete. There's just one problem, and that is I'm not sure if I like it. I spent a long time not changing the tailgate over because I thought that might be just a bit over the top, and the trouble is I'm thinking that maybe it is just a bit over the top. What do you think? The purple filler flap, I don't think I like that. I'm not sure about these tail lamps with this change of boot. They looked great with the gold boot, but with this I really don't know. Maybe I just need some time to get used to it. Gosh, that gap's way too big. They just never want to fit together in the way they should. I really can't make my mind up. I feel a bit like I failed though, because I gave myself a month to change this car into something else, make one big video out of it, and instead I've made a few videos over the course of 2 months and I haven't even finished it. Basically because of all the other things that I have to do as well, and I don't know, I'm just not feeling it quite the same way as I was before. Maybe that'll be different when I get it back on the road and I see all the people laughing at it and I think, oh gosh, I'm bringing a sense of joy to people again. Or maybe I won't. Maybe this time I'll take it personally. What the exterior is reminding me of at the moment is last year I had a diesel 25 called Eric that I acquired by some chap bringing it down here. And it was a bit of a tatty unloved thing. It needed a few cosmetic things doing to it. But then I got into the car and I added some other bits to it. And at one point I thought, maybe this is a bit too much. It was the silver boot spoiler, and then a bit of silver just down there looks great. And then the front fog lamp bezels painted in silver to contrast with the black. Now obviously you've got to imagine this really, because I'm showing you a different car. But I thought that looked all great. But then what I did is I put a silver filler flap on and suddenly it didn't look right. So I took it back off. I thought that was a step too far. And even on a car like this, where it's basically a driving publicity stunt, you can still go a bit too far with it. Now there was a time where that freezer was filled with now there was a time where that fridge Now there was a time where this freezer was filled with rubber filler flaps.